to another episode of Canine Confidential. Today we're going to explore the ultimate goal of most dog owners, being off-leash in the woods with you and your dog. In my humble opinion, there is no greater joy than walking off-leash with your dog in the woods like we have behind us. We are lucky also to live in an area with lots of natural resources and steeped in a long history of natural conservancy. Unfortunately, recent restrictions have reduced the availability of certain areas to be enjoyed off-leash with our dogs in Concord. In my view, while some people view this as a fundamental right, my opinion is dog owners must view this walking off-leash in areas like this as a privilege and take care to respect the land and the other people who also want to enjoy this area. As many of the towns near us also restrict their dog off-leash areas, Concord is now feeling the same pinch. I would call on all dog owners to follow some basic guidelines and to help educate other dog owners on these guidelines. Those guidelines are first and foremost, keep your dog in sight at all times. Secondly, always have your dog under control. Third, be mindful of others. Fourth, be proactive. Don't wait for your dog to jump on someone. Pull them in before they have that opportunity. Fifth, pick up more than you leave. Sixth, minimize you and your dog's impact on the natural environment. Finally, be honest with yourself about your dog's skill level. My dogs are generally on leash until they're at least 2 years old. I work extensively on leash or in long lines and in areas that are safe where I can be off leash to hone the skills that I need before I take my dogs out in the woods off leash where I might meet people. It takes time, effort, and discipline to train your dogs to this level of fluency. So one of the ways I help my client dog teams reach this level of fluency is my adventure class. This is an off-leash group class where we build those skills that they need in order for them to go off-leash by themselves. The skills we work on include recalls, leave it, moving downs, and lots of impulse control. So let's go with my class into the woods and see what we do. On leash, get your dog's attention. Start rewarding them for being with you. Excellent. Nice job. Uh-oh. Haku! Come here, baby. And so dogs aren't programmable. Occasionally things like this happen. Hey, Haku.
I got it.
Haku. Everybody stop for just a second, please.
Surge.
Ask your dog to sit. That's okay.
Hop, hop.
That's all right. All right, and forward. So yeah, the one thing that we all have to recognize is dogs are not little programmed beings. They are living, being, thinking, feeling animals. Hey, Parker, look. Yes, a good boy. Ouch, easy. And sometimes they have a mind of their own, and the really big ones can be hard to control sometimes. But as you saw, Haku didn't want to go anywhere. He just wanted to be with the whole gang. Nice job. Nice job, you guys. Get their attention. Don't forget to reward them for being with you. Most of these people that are in this class have about a 75 to 80% recall. That's one of the requirements for being in this class. And they've all been to at least 2 or 3 different classes, either with me or with someone else. And that's one of those things that builds the fluency that we need in order for the dog to participate in this type of class. when you guys get to that opening, spread out. We'll do a couple of sit stays. I love working with live animals. Okay, go ahead. Have your dog sit. And we're going to do a couple sit stays. So ask your dog to stay. Step back away from your dog.
Good girl.
For as long as you can. Okay, now we're going to do sit stays with distractions. So if you can, if your dog is up to it, I want you either to just jump up and down or do a little jumping jack in front of your dog. That's it. All right. Awesome. Go back to your dog. Reward and release. All done. All right. Now, what we're going to do, because we all know that the very first thing these dogs need to do is blow off a little steam. So we're going to let them off on the count of 3. Please ask your dog to sit.
Sit.
Okay. On the count of 3, we're going to release. And as soon as we release, we're going to start walking. 1, 2, 3. Let the dogs off. There we go. Nice. I love the fact that nobody ramped their dogs up when we let them off. That's important. And we always, and stop and call. Good. Reward and release. That's it. That's good. Reward and release. It's okay, Bonnie. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Hi, who I got? Hi, Raven. Let's hang a la 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 la. We're gonna stay with the main drag, just because I don't need to get lost today. We get lost periodically, which is part of the adventure, but makes for an interesting class. Keep walking, guys. Keep walking. Keep moving. So one of the things that we try to avoid doing with this group of dogs is, or any group of dogs, is we avoid standing still, especially in tight areas. Because when you have a large, it's all right. It's all right. Yep.
Leave it.
Yeah, Cricket and Tika are really in good, they are great friends. So we want to avoid being too tight on a too tight trail, because the dogs will end up bumping up against each other. And sometimes that causes bad feelings. We don't need bad feelings. Nice job. Look at that. So the skills we practice a lot are recall, leave it, wait, stays, and drop or moving down. So we will try and practice all of those while we're out today. But right now, we're going to practice a leash up. I see a person! Leash up!
Haku! Haku! Come on, buddy. Good boy. Sit. Good dog.
Wait for it.
Serious distraction. Good dog.
Everybody wait till everybody's got their dog. It's okay, we got a couple that are playing. They are having a grand time. But you notice they're not going anywhere. So guys, a couple of pieces of food on the ground, or reach in and grab your dog. There you go. Awesome. Excellent. We don't only leash up when we see people. Sometimes we leash up, so I want you guys to leash up, and we're going to take a walk. Sometimes we leash up just to practice leashing up. Even though we're off leash with our dogs, this is part of the practice, is leashing up and moving with our dogs, and then letting them go again, so that they learn, even when they're leashed up, it's not the end of the play. Yes. All right, and while you're moving, we're going to go ahead and release on 3. 1, 2, 3, release your dogs. And Greg, when I tell you leash up, don't worry about Coda, just worry about Cooper. Okay? Greg's got 2 dogs. One is a 6 or 8-year-old dog, and that dog's not going anywhere. Nice. David, warning, lots of water along this trail.
I know.
But actually a lot of it will be dried up, and the stuff that we'll see hopefully will be clean.
I've heard that.
Yeah, as they go on into the ditch looking for the mud. Haku is our mud magnet. He has an amazing ability to find the dirtiest, stinkiest mud.
Bernie's mud dog.
Bernie's, I love it, Bernie's mud dog.
What a good time.
Dale, it is so nice to see Cricket having a good time.
Isn't it amazing?
It is awesome.
She and Tika are so happy to see her.
They are. We still have everybody in sight. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is keep count. Oh yes, mud, David. Mud, David.
Yeah, I heard you.
I'm just.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. Okay. So on our way back, we have to remember not to let them in here. Now, you got to admit, these dogs are having a blast. This is. Where's who? In the back. Oh yes. Oh no. Oh yeah.
And then not check it with mommy.
Good.
Timing.
Yeah. Oops. Okay. Come on, Raven. Let's go. Good. Nice proactive there. Yay! Oh, I'm dropping things. Sorry. There we go. Okay, everybody take a, call your dog in, please. We're gonna call and hold. Call and hold, please.
Come!
Cricket. Cricket.
Cooper! Coda! Coda, come! Come on. Good girl.
All right, let's go ahead and leash up for a second. What I want to do now is we're going to practice one of the things that we always do, which is drop on recalls. Now, in the beginning, this takes the form of simply walking, 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 and we down our dog. Some of you have a drop on recall, and so after we practice a bit, what I'd like to do is if you're up to it, you're willing to volunteer, and you think you've got a nice drop on recall, I want you to demonstrate for us. But right now, we're going to walk along. Every now and then, I'm going to say down your dog. Okay, so we're walking on leash, and we're just teaching the dog that moving while they down, or downing while they move, it's still early, is one of the things we practice on our way to being able to drop our dog regardless of where they are or what they're doing. All right, forward.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yay.
Spread out a little bit. Give each other some room in between. Get 2 or 3 feet in between you, or 4. That's it. Awesome.
Coda.
And down your dog.
Cooper down.
All right, and forward. And down your dogs.
Down. All the way down. Good.
All the way down. And forward.
Good girl. Good girl. Let's go. Good girl.
And down your dogs.
Down.
Remember, these things have to go in sets in order for them to get better. And forward.
What a good girl. What a good girl.
And down your dog.
Down.
Nice. There you go, Greg.
Well done.
All right, and forward. And on the count of 3, release your dogs.
Go with me.
1, 2, 3. There you go. Raven's doing really well today. I'm sorry?
He's tired these days. A lot more leaves.
It's hot. It's hot.
Is this my well bed?
This is an old rail bed. Oh, into some more mud.
Where's my girl? Oh, there she is.
Oh, yeah.
The black legs. Very good,
Well, luckily, there is clean water before we get back. But we'll have to remember these areas so that we call our dogs and they don't end up black. Nice job, you guys. All right, let's take the advantage of the situation and let's ask our dogs for some stationary behaviors. All right, so ask your dog for a downstay. And I want you to go to the end of your leash, or if you feel confident, drop your leash. And I'm going to be the distraction. So back up as far as you feel comfortable. And here's the distraction. I get to act like an idiot.
Good job, Raven.
That's it. It's all right. It's okay, Dale. It's okay. Okay.
Down, please. Hello.
All right, and release and reward.
Good job.
Nice job. So building distractions helps us build the skills that we need to do in case a horse comes by and they have to be in the downstay or a sit-say as the horse walks by. So we have people coming, first person in line, yelled leash up. Luckily we're already on leash, which is helpful. But this helps us to not intimidate any other people or dogs who are on the trail. Guys, let's pull over here. There's an ancillary trail right here. Let these guys go by. All right, guys, onward. All right, on 3, release. 1, 2, 3. Off you go. All right. Oh, hey guys, you want to let him swim? This is actually not a bad spot to let it happen.
I believe that choice has been made.
Yes, I believe you're right.
How'd you get wet? You don't like to swim?
I can see Haku swimming back and forth.
Haku is going down the river.
Oh, Cricket is doing zoomies. We're doing zoomies.
Yeah.
We're doing zoomies.
Oh, I knew it was going to happen, but the guy's arguing with me, and I'm like, we're on the same page here. Really, truly.
You happy, Toto?
There we go. There's a happy dog.
Oh, boy.
Oh, God, everybody stand back.
Nailed the cameraman.
All right, guys.
Okay, let's go.
Hopefully not too much to film.
He's back in the water.
Yeah, you made it.
He'll figure it out. That's,
You're next. You know that.
if he missed the camera, we got lucky.
All right. Oh.
It's all right. She's like, okay, not messing with that one.
Come on, bud, let's go.
Yes, it is.
Run.
Come on. Swing.
Hi, baby.
Yes, very good. Yeah.
Last week I was out with Asia and Candace. We ran into the biggest head I have ever seen.
Oh, really?
Close to the ground, a massive. The head was the size of a St. Bernard or bigger.
Oh my gosh.
He was a 10-month-old unneutered male.
Oh.
He came charging up the Raven, and my heart just sank.
And?
And they started a tiff. And luckily we backed up.
Awesome. Ah, excellent. Yeah, it is. It's very scary. You
A
know,
dog that size
and that age,
and not neutered.
you know, 10, 12 months. Oh, Greg, thank you very much. That's what we're looking for.
Find it.
Picking up our poops.
Yeah, it's not a bad time.
That is responsible dog ownership at its best right there.
Down a very long, steep bank.
Here we go.
Yes, that's Haku. Sorry.
I could never miss an opportunity.
It's
all
the
right.
same river, buddy.
That's all right.
I'm dried. I'm wetter than hot now.
Yeah, this is a little bit safe.
Good job, Raven.
Question is, can he get back up? Oh, Haku, easy, bud. All right. Oh, that's a tough thing. That's a tough one. Yeah, watch out. Haku's next to you, Lauren. Thank you. Thank you so much. You know, anywhere from 9 months to about 18 months. If they're going to get aggressive, that's about the time that they do it. My advocacy is always, we keep our dogs on leash under control until they're about 2 years old, because that's when they're fully matured and not have to go do anything. And he's back in the water again. You guys just, you know what he's saying? He's saying, you guys go on the land. I'll meet you.
Guys,
This is so hot.
this is the best place. You can just stand here and have a picnic. You can sit here and have a picnic, and your dog can swim. And this is heaven.
So, you know, right now we've got dogs who are fairly well trained. They're all staying within sight. But if we start with a young group, there are a bunch of games that we play to keep our dogs with us. And one of the most fundamental games that we play is quickly reversing direction without telling our dogs where we're going. And what it does is it trains our dogs to stay with us no matter what and to pay attention to where we are. Okay, turn around, Greg. We're going the other way. So there are several of them who are off.
Well, that was easy. Yeah, some of them.
And we're not going to tell them where we're going. We're going to let them catch up to us. As soon as they do catch up to us, David Z, get ready. I want you guys to feed for the dogs coming back to you. There we go. There we go. Awesome. Excellent. And if you can imagine younger dogs, they can get quite a bit of ways from us. So as soon as they start getting to the point where we can't see them again, we turn around, we walk the other direction quickly, and suddenly they're looking around going, oh, where did our humans go? And that's how we teach them to pay attention to us, rather than cueing them every time we change direction. While there are studies that have been done that point to the detrimental effects of off-leash dogs in wilderness areas, many deal with particularly fragile ecosystems or areas that are not necessarily comparable to suburban areas like we have around here. And there are also other studies that indicate off-leash dogs are not a major problem. In one of these studies titled Interactions Among Dogs, People, and the Environment in Boulder, Colorado, a case study, Mark Beckoff of the University of Colorado observed that dogs really were not a major problem for wildlife, other dogs, people, or for destroying vegetation. He also noted that, quote, many more people reported seeing other people disturb wildlife, 92.2%, and significantly more often than dogs, 49.7%, end quote. As with many topics, you can point to scientific studies that support whatever your position happens to be. The bottom line is that there is no scientific consensus on the effect of off-leash dogs on birds or wildlife. There is, however, no doubt that dog owners are indeed a large part of our community, and that excluding them from our public lands or discriminating against them from public lands by limiting or eliminating their ability to enjoy them with their dogs would be wrong. All right, Raven, up. Good. Sorry, I got her. Got him. It's all right. Yeah. Yep. Okay, let's go.
Cooper!
So occasionally, if you caught that, you know, occasionally dogs do get overexcited. Dogs that are herding dogs tend to have a high prey drive. When you have a herding dog and a small little dog that looks like a rabbit, especially right now, there is the potential that one dog's prey drive gets overstimulated. And we interrupt that as quickly as we can. And you did an awesome job with Raven, recognizing it and interrupting it. Yeah, he has. You know, the more interaction he gets with other dogs, this dog came into this class with a huge issue with other dogs in the prey drive. He would just get overstimulated all the time. And by practicing being with other dogs and being interrupted every single time it happens, the dog has learned not to do that. All right. All right, let's go ahead and leash up. I want to do one more exercise, and we're going to do the leave it exercise. So when your dogs get back from being in the water, you can leash them up.
Oh, you're so beautiful, Cricket. Look how beautiful you are.
Oh,
Good boy.
try not to cut the camera.
Oh, boy.
So much water.
Hey. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I have here is, excuse me. And you're going to need to leash both of them up this time, Greg? Because I have a bag of meat that's going on the ground. Hang on a second. Don't move. Don't move. What I have here is a bag of meat. And what we're going to practice is leave-its.
You are a cruel...
I am a taskmaster. Because what we really want to do is we want to make sure that these dogs, when they hear the word leave it, will snap their attention back to their owner and turn around and walk the other way. If you get that level of fluency with leave it, what happens is you get a dog who's rushing to meet someone who may potentially be jumping on someone, and if you say leave it, they're going to say, oh, good things happen when I say leave it, because it's not just leave it, yank your dog, it's leave it, the dog turns back toward you, and you feed the dog. And you're going to feed the dog something as high a value as what's in the bag, which is why I'm going to pass out little pieces of meat. All right, now the key is not to give the meat, not to show the meat to the dog beforehand, because that would be a bribe. We want this to be a reward. So we get a little piece of meat. Good, nice job preventing. All right, so anybody have any questions on the exercise? It is tell the dog leave it, prevent the dog from getting the food. As soon as the dog looks back at you, we reward, praise, and feed, and keep going. If you feed as you keep going, then your dog won't get the food. I'm going to put this over on the side so it's a little easier. You've got room to get past it. And forward. Greg, do you want me to hold one of those?
They're going to eat the bag anyway.
No, you're going to prevent them from eating the bag because we've got to have everybody else.
Yeah, but Cooper says he's hungry.
Okay, go.
Leave it. Leave
Prevent, 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 look, and feed. Yes, there we go. Well trained, leave it. It's okay. Don't forget to feed. There we go. Leave it. Yes. Nice. Oh, nice. That's what I want to see. Awesome. Okay, we're going to go back across it one more time. Dale, you're first. Tell her. That's it. Yes. Good job, Lauren. That was nice.
Leave it.
Good. Block and yes. Excellent. All right. So that's a skill that all these guys have worked on for a long time. And so they've pretty much perfected it. All right, guys, off leash on 3 and forward as soon as we go off. 1, 2, 3, forward. Heads up. I think the reason dog owners enjoy having their dogs off leash so much is the benefit they get from the activity, as well as the understanding that the dogs need their exercise. Owning dogs has been shown to increase people's activity level, improve their overall mental health, and increase the level of social interaction they have. For the dogs, many behaviorists, trainers, and dog owners believe that exercise decreases their dog's anxiety levels, increases the human-dog bond, and decreases problematic behavior in dogs. For young dogs in particular, like young people, exercise is fundamental to good mental health and physical health. In an interview with Dr. Nicholas Dodman, a leading animal behaviorist and veterinarian, and the founder and director of Tufts Cummings School of Veterinary Medicine's Animal Behavior Clinic, he said, and I quote, "The vast majority of dogs do benefit greatly from having exercise periods, and walking dogs on a leash is not sufficient exercise. It's not that they die if they walk on leash, just as it's not that a human dies in solitary confinement either. It is just that it is not optimal for their physiological and psychological well-being. Exercise is good for us, and it is good for a dog. People say to me, I give my dog a lot of exercise. I take him for a walk around the block every day, and it is about a mile or a mile and a half. I say, well, I take my 84-year-old mother for a mile walk around the block, but that doesn't constitute exercise. We really need to get heart rate to a certain level, and this is done by running off lead." End quote. Also, walking your dog on leash or supervising dogs off leash play in a dog park does not increase a person's physical activity or the bond between the dog and owner, as much as walking in the woods with your dog off leash. So my feeling is both humans and dogs benefit greatly from this experience. All right, and release on 3. 1, 2, 3. Good. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, off leash.
There we go. Nope, not that one. Sorry. We're going to keep going. That goes up into the field, which is a nice open area. That field's a great place to practice recalls on a long line. Yeah, they've got something they're honed in on there. So instead of calling come, good, Greg. That's right. So instead of standing here and calling come over and over and over again when he knows his dog isn't going to come, because the dog is very interested in something in the grass, he walks up, he gets the dog's attention. If you continue to use the word come over and over again, what happens is the dog learns to ignore it. So don't repeat yourself, go get your dog. That is your Canine Confidential tip of the day. Nice. And now, for the most part, we have happy, healthy, tired dogs. And this is what we need. This is what happens with these dogs. They get very emotionally well balanced when they're able to walk off leash. You know, rather than getting hyped up, my poor dog can't go off leash anymore, and ends up being very pent up at the end of the day. And so I have to work with her. These dogs are able to go off leash, and by the end of this, they're going to be tired. They're going to be happy.
Hold up. Come.
And my dog misses this terribly. She's old, I know. She can't go, she can go off leash. She just can't be in a crowd like this because she gets banged up.
What are you barking at?
You never know. You never know. You know, I've learned to trust. Oh, mud, mud, mud. Call. Tell him leave it. Get him on leash. Good job, David. So, leave it also comes in handy for practical purposes, like keeping your dog out of the mud.
For obvious purposes, we're going to be.
I think that's fine. We're going to be turning on a left right here.
Hey, there's a baby. You like that meat, huh? Talk to my dog a lot. I'm a little crazy.
That left-hand turn should be right up here on your left. Duh.
Right?
That left-hand turn should be right up here on your right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's the rock.
Hold up. Good job. Super.
Nice job. Dogs are out of sight. He calls his dogs. Perfect. And that is the left turn we're gonna be taking. It's the big rock. They were right, but I love the fact that as soon as they took off the wrong way. Yeah.
Go ahead, Cricket. Don't block it. Yes, I'm right here. Don't block it.
No, I was saying, I've learned to trust my dog's instincts.
Yeah.
And if they're making a fuss or they're worried about,
Yeah.
you know, something, they can smell and hear things that we can't.
Yes. We went for a walk and up there. He stopped dead before we got in the woods. It was dusk. I said, okay, I know the bear's up here. We're going home.
We're going home, yeah, absolutely. You know, your dog doesn't want to go somewhere, or you see your dog really, really interested in something, call him in, leash him up, because often there's something that they should not be into. And yeah.
But there was one spot where both my dogs used to walk. I never figured that one out.
Yes, ma'am.
More mud? Or are we done?
No, we're done with the
Okay,
mud.
so I can unleash.
Yep, sorry. But we are closing in on the end of the trail, so keep them close. Okay, just because everybody turn around, switch back, go back the other way. Don't talk to your dog. Hello. Okay, anybody a naturalist here? Anybody know what that was? I think it's a hawk. There we go, feed your dogs.
Good boy, Haku.
And turn around and go back. I'm thinking it's a hawk.
It's affiliated.
Oh, it's a woodpecker.
On that side branch there.
Cool.
Yeah.
You know, and again,
I'm a bit of a birder.
I love it. I'm so happy.
Yeah. So I'm gonna bring my binders next time.
Yeah. So you know, the nice thing is, when you're walking the dogs in the forest, it's not just about the dogs. It's also about seeing the wildlife. It's about understanding what's going on while we're out here. Now we are coming up to the end, and I want to make sure we get these dogs on leash before we get anywhere close to the road. Hey guys, let's all leash up. We're getting close to the road.
Hold up. Super.
All right. Do you guys have any, if you were talking to your friends about their new puppy and talking to them about training so that you can get off leash, any advice for people?
It's a lot of work, but it's worth it.
Yep.
Have what Greg and I were saying, have lots of really good nice high-value treats on you.
Excellent. Yeah.
And learn how to walk on leash first. You know,
Yeah.
Walk your dog hungry.
and don't
Walk
have
your
those
dog
awful,
hungry. I like that,
what
too.
are those leashes?
Yeah.
Zip
Oh,
leashes.
yeah. Retractable
They're
leashes.
terrible,
Are,
and
you
so
know,
many people have them.
The retractable leashes are not only dangerous because they can wrap around people's legs, but they actually teach your dog to pull because that's
always
how
in
your dog gets to go forward. So when I talk about walking a dog, a young dog in the woods, what I use is a 20, 25-foot line And I'm really careful, you know, if people come up, I'm reeling that line in so the dog can't wind themselves around something or the dog can't jump on someone, but I've always got that line on as a safety precaution. And that's how we generally get started, on long lines in safe areas.
Don't jump on Judy.
Not good filming. All right, thank you very much, guys. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Judy.
All right, so thank you again for visiting with us at Canine Confidential. That wraps up another episode. What I want to say in summary is the things that we look for responsible off-leash dog ownership is keeping your dog on leash or in sight at all times. That may mean leashing up a lot because you need to also be aware of what your dog is doing and where they are. Always have your dog under control. Now we know that dogs aren't little robots, so there are going to be times where it takes a little bit to get your dog. But as we've seen, you know, don't wait. Walk up, go get your dog. If the dog isn't responding, don't just stand there and call and call and call and hope and pray. Be mindful of others. Every time you see someone, leash up your dog. Even if they don't think it's necessary, leash up your dog because we never know what is coming at us. Be proactive in your response. Don't wait. Don't wait for your dog to jump on someone. Don't wait for your dog to rush someone. Go up and get your dog if they're not responding. Pick up more than you leave. Again, if you see a pile, pick it up. I'm sure you've left a pile that you didn't intend to. And finally, we like to minimize our impact of ourselves as well as our dogs, which means staying on the path as much as possible. Don't allow your dogs to rampage into people's yards, into areas that they shouldn't be in. If you see them getting interested in a particular hole, make sure you go get them because that's usually in somebody's home, like a fox or a porcupine. And it's not just for the fox and porcupine's sake. As we've seen, it can be for your dog's sake. So thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you again soon. Stay tuned for our next episode.